Welcome to TougeSW.com or Touge Southwest. This is my podcast. This is the little graphic that I've done. This will definitely wanted to just show it off. But yes, basically this week we're covering the JDM Classic Vintage Japanese cars. Back in basically it's Route 66 JDM Classic car meet that happened in Arizona. It's Williams, Arizona, that is. It's a small little town, but it's really cool, really close to Flagstaff. And wanted to do something new because this is technically one of the things I wanted to cover to begin with Touge Southwest. Not just having drifting events or doing drifting events, I wanted to do more things to it. So, and this is one of the things. I wanted to do car shows. I wanted to do car reviews and recaps and also, other cool things along the way. I want to take that travel time, do like a Top Gear travel time kind of thing and go from Vegas to cool events on the Southwest. So that was the whole point of that. So let's get fully started. Hit next. This is Series 3, Episode 15. Drift Talk is what I normally call this podcast. This is actually labeled as To There and Back Again. Because, yeah, I'm a Hobbit fan. I'm sorry. Today's date is 10/9/2025. You'll find all of my previous episodes on www.TougeSW.com. That's TougeSW.com. I'm normally live every Thursday night from 10 p.m. to late for this podcast. So it might take only like 20 minutes, or it might take an hour. Who knows? You also might find I also upload these videos up to YouTube as well as my podcast thing. And if you want to see any other videos or other raw stuff that I normally put up, is on Instagram at Wandering Raven as well. So, welcome in. This is Touge Southwest. I've started. I started this as a thing since 2011. The whole idea was back in 2009. I moved to Oregon because I had to change my life and everything else. I had such a major bad traumatic experience. I actually made a whole book about it. It's called Vegas Hackware, and you can find that at VegasHackware.com. That's VegasHackware.com. And you can get my book there, and you'll get to learn more about exactly what happened and whatnot. But in 2009, I moved to Oregon. I was in Bend, Oregon / Redmond, Oregon. Central Oregon, technically. I loved it up there. That's where I got to meet Touge Northwest people there. I got to participate in Drift X 2 to 6, I think it was, or 2 to 5. That's a lot of awesome events. It was like a 3-day camping trip. It was an amazing time. But also had chances to go out to Medford and do a couple of their events there. I went out to and helped delivered the park drift that started up there. We actually introduced drifting at the place called Park, PRC, which was a go-kart track, but was actually big enough for a car to fit on. It was amazing. Amazing times. But now it's like, yeah. But long story short, 2011, I was actually pushed out of Central Oregon by a business partner because I wanted to start a business. And I was held against my will. I was basically had to leave there because my life was in jeopardy. It was in danger. So was my career at the same time. And I had to come back to Vegas. And because of that, I decided, why don't I just start up something I loved when I was up in Oregon. So because they didn't have Touge Southwest here. They had Touge Northwest up there. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to start this over here. So 2011, I could not mimic the same thing that they had up there, mainly because Vegas is definitely a different beast for car shows and car events and whatnot. So I decided to start moving towards like stuff like this, to where I can document places that I've gone to, drift events I went to, all in the Southwest, and you know, car shows, stuff like that. And it kind of went on my back burner in a way, because I started just focusing on drifting for a while, and in my career, and so a lot of things happened there. And it was 2019 is when my last major drift event, because that last event kind of crushed me, because my mom passed away a couple of days later. And it wasn't up until a couple years ago is when I decided to bring this back, make it a podcast, make it something that I can hold myself accountable for. So I started refocusing on this car, which is my 87 S12, and to get it back up and running and back drifting. And I did have an 86 that I daily driven. It's back up and running and now daily driven as well. So that's my welcome, that's my background. So let's begin with the fun. So if you want to learn more about it, you go to TougeSW.com. You go to the About Us. Yeah, I basically written it all here. It has a direct link to my book on here somewhere. If not, I'll actually put it up later, but let's go to my gallery. This is my first one, and my first gallery I get to put up. It's amazing. So we'll start at the bottom and we'll go up. Alright, so this is my first car trip ever with this. Made it just outside of Boulder City. Yeah, that's where I gassed up. I could not figure out how much gas I needed. But when I gassed up, I only needed like 2 gallons, which was amazing. That's when I filled up the 5-gallon bucket just in case. But that's that. I made it there. This was Friday night-ish. I think I got there around 5 o'clock. This area, this gas station. Basically, the sunset was happening. So yeah, here's another angle. It's called The Last Stop. Energy drinks, they were like $8 a can. It was insane. I wasn't gonna pay any of that. So yeah, I didn't make it until Williams until like 8 o'clock actually, just before they wrapped up for the night and walked away. I was able to get my t-shirt and all the stuff that I needed just to make it, you know. So it shows that I made it. Of course, I ate there. They had the amazing sourdough freaking pizza crust right there for a calzone. I forgot the name of the place. It's like a bar place, but it was actually really decent. That's like my first experience that night. But I was also dealing with something, I don't know, something wrong with my stomach all week. So I wasn't able to really enjoy a lot of food around the little town that I wanted to. But anyways, they gave me a packet full of swag, the swagger stuff, you know. They gave me this thing here, which is a Nico Club little wristband thing. I'll zoom in right here. NicoClub.com, because this event is technically hosted by the Nico Club owners, which is awesome. They did a little bit AM dev. We have a little voter ballot that we get to basically vote for the best stuff. It was really cool. The experience was basically wholesome in a way. I got a little. It's actually on my wall right now, but this like a license plate. It's metal and it's actually really cool. I like how they done this. A little more advertisement books and cool stuff. But yeah, I made it to Arizona, Route 66. Williams is basically on Route 66, which is not bad. It's like a couple hours out of Flagstaff, I believe. But yeah, I made it here. I've seen this awesome little setup in the middle of town, which is really cool. There's another restaurant I wanted to try, but I was not feeling good at all that morning. Call it the original pancake house, so maybe next time. Definitely gonna have to try that out. Especially they say they're the original pancake house. I gotta try it. I love pancakes. So, of course, there's like more little cars here and there, but come on. A couple of this is like early morning. People are barely coming in and setting up. A couple of little cars here and there. Yeah, I already set that one. I even try to take pictures of their placards. Like this is a 79 RX-7. This is what they call an FB, Frank Beta. Yeah. Other FBs here. Really cool. Actually, is that it? No, that is an RX-7. It just looks different here. Huh. Weird. Must be like a different year. But yeah. My car actually made it the first 200 miles there. But no problems at all, actually. The front end definitely needs a little attention to. So I got the whole S13 that I need to finish swapping into it, and that'll take care of that problem. I believe I found my fuel problem, which is might be just one or maybe two leaky injectors, which means the injectors are constantly leaking, even though they're supposed to hold pressure, but they're not holding pressure as they should. So they're always leaking into my into the chamber, so almost like flooding the car. I've got these awesome old school vans too, Mitsubishi, I think. I think I took a picture of them. I hope I did. Let's see, they started setting up all up and down the hallways. Got the Z32s, we got the old fashioned Zs down here. 2+2. Really nice. I like how they restored that one. I think I took more pictures on that, but let's see. More and more. Come on. Yeah, I always love these rims. Did I? I better have taken a picture of those vans. Or did they just not go through? They probably didn't go through. Dang it. I don't know why. Oh no, it's right here. These vans. Mazda. Okay, one's Mazda, one's Toyota. These are the 5-lug ones that I always wanted at one point. I still kind of do. Yeah, these are really cool vans. I think they're rear-wheel drives too. I have to look this one up, but yeah, pretty cool. The Bandits podcast, so they have their own podcast. And you got this little guy, which is an MX3, or it's just MX2. I think it's MX2-ish, I think. Let's take a look. RX2, I'm sorry. Mazda RX2. That's really cool. And then, come on. There's a couple Cressidas there. a lot of these cars actually, people actually race them in different ways, like autocross and straightaways, and then you have the trucks who actually go out and do 4x4 stuff, camping stuff, amazing things. Like this truck, you can't actually get this in America. This is at, what was it, 720? The 4-door one. So that was technically imported in. Straight from Mexico. And then you have this awesome little truck. That somebody else owned this at one point, but I guess they must have sold it. It's kind of cool. Definitely like a show truck. And then, what do we have here? We have S15, S14. Then this one right here. Hopefully I can get to that one soon. That's an FTO, which is basically the Japan version of the GTO. And then we had a lot of different Skyline variants. And the Skyline wagon called the Stagia. I can never pronounce that right. Look at this little cylinder engine. I think these were the little Hondas. Didn't I take? These are like little clown cars. These are amazing. Right-hand drive though. Little Honda. And the blue one is just like that one. I thought I took a bigger picture. Then you have a couple of roadsters too. Datsun. And this big freaking, it's called the Z Vader by Z Tricks. This is an Ellis swapped freaking monster. Meant for racing for sure. They do a lot of like HPDE or something like that, or HDPE. I forgot what it's called. I know it's like something high performance and stuff like that. So yeah, this is meant for being like old school Japanese style classic cars. They do bring different cars here and there too. Here's a nice one. An S13 with the Sylvia front upgrade, but really clean. I'm pretty sure this car has probably never seen drifting. Daily driven. Oh, this was right-hand drive, wasn't it? Oh, no way. I just now noticed that. That's right-hand drive. Oh, that's a straight-up Japanese style. And then the GTIR, the Pulsar over here. Another right-hand drive car. Amazing. I love that little car too. And then we have this car here, which is the Celica 1977. The Celica right here. I love the wide body that they done to it. I like how they set this up. It's beautiful. It's definitely beautiful in person. Toyota Celica. I think it also got one of the best in show too. Even the rims are freaking beautiful. Then I've never seen a clean Infiniti Q45. And here it is. They took some love in this one. This is like a VIP ride. An MR2, some more Datsun trucks and Nissan trucks. I believe next year they're going to be doing the truck alley. Then there's this right here. This is amazing. This was in Suzuki 71 LJ10. So let's see. I think it's like only like a 2-cylinder motor. They brought it in. It's like a little Jeep. That's really cool. I like it. It was really cool to see, especially in person, how tiny that is. Is this the... No, this is the Supra. Toyota Supra. Nice and clean. And then there's this FTO 97. That's really nice looking. It's almost like a super style. Straight from Japan. And then there's this one. This was a Nevada car, and they came and picked it up, and they've done some work to it. Like, these tires are huge on this car. Oh yeah, that's an RV swapped. See, what was it? RV swapped? Yes, let's see. Trying to see. This is P275-60R15. Holy cow, that is huge. 15-inch, it's freaking huge. It's like a monster truck, a little friggin' road car. That's a 2+2 that had an RV swap. Oh wow, RV20. And then there's my car right here. I was just sitting at the back of it, trying to stay hydrated because, yeah, I guess I was a little dehydrated in a way. Another showstopper car. This blue GTR. And because it's a car show, some of these older folks like to drive their old cars down the way to show off their car too. Of course, can't have a Japanese show without Hondas, so there's other little Hondas here. EK hatches, and really cool. There's a really cool setup. Oh yeah, this is that black car I was talking about earlier. It's like a Viper looking front end. Not like a Viper car, but like a Viper looking snake. That's that LS swap. I like how they put the filters on the top like that. Alright, let's see what else we got. We got Toyota. We got that. Of course, my car was there, which was the 86 Nissan. So yeah, she made it there. My car show was actually from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. I actually showed up around 7:30ish, so because it was freezing. Try to take some pictures along the way, here and there. Here, I will do this real quick. Alright, so here's what I'll do. I'll screen it, because show off the whole thing real quick. It's a one-way street, so... And that was the police department right there. That's cool. I like how everybody was like so friendly. I love this place. So, 10 out of 10. I'll do this again. Hopefully next year I'll actually have like a little caravan coming up. There's the Z with the big wheels. We've got some really cool cars here. I love this little wagon right here. The Mazda wagon. Try to... Oh yeah, look at that. That's amazing. I love coming to stuff like this because you get to actually see these really cool cars. You get to see different builds and how people done things here and there. Like this one here. Big tires. Look at those big tires. huge, man. To be honest, I would love to do that to my Z. Just for fun. And you have that racing one there. Got a Honda there. I'll try to get the try to get a couple shots in. Like one seat, it's meant for racing for sure. Try to get their stickers in because, you know, I didn't quite read them while I was there, so. Yeah, it's really cool. This is like a whole 19 minutes, so. Let it go, let it go. Honda, front wheel drives, amazing. I have old style rotaries. Oh, I mean that's a rotary. The rotary engine is like it's not really like your standard car, like with your pistons going up and down. It's more like a little rotating shaft inside. You have to like to call it like a Dorito on a stick. There's my car right there, my S12, the only S12 that made it there. So I got a lot of head turners on that, even though I didn't win anything on the events. A lot of people actually came up and admired it, actually. Really cool. A lot of people couldn't believe it's an S12 until they read the back and like go, oh, it's a 200 SX. Yep, S12. Now here's the thing, though. Now something like this, I kind of wished I had kept the VG30 / carb setup because I think that would have been more of a head turner on this one. There's that little blue Honda too. 2JZ. It's a wagon too, look at that. Right hand drive. That is so cool. MR2. Right hand drive too. Which is amazing. I've never really seen an MR2 that had the right hand drive. The 99 Aristo. That's what that one is. That's really cool. I like how they did that. I should have done something like that. But how would I know? My first time attending something like this, especially out of my own comfort zone. Look at this wagon. I mean, not wagon. Look at this little roadster. Overhead cam. Had like its little like a roadster with its own little towing package. Try to cover the Z's that are all there. One thing I didn't see was like a Z31. That would have been really cool to see inside. So I'll let this play. I'll be right back. Another Honda. RV swap. Is this the wagon? I think it is. No, it's not. It's another. This one is nope. That's the wagon. That's like the it's like the GTS wagon, but they call it Stagia or something like that. Look at that SR20. They pull premium just before Race Wars. S14. Then you have S15. I wish they would have popped the hood on that because I would have loved to seen that. If that had the RB or if it had the SR20. Another GTR wagon. Very beautiful. I would love this. I would always love to get one. Not to go sideways either, just to have one. For fun. It would be a great daily car. There's another Stagia. Stagia? Yeah. Basically the GTR wagons. That's what they are. So we go to Celica. Then you have Supra. Then you have this Datsun right here. They call it the Clunker. You cannot imagine how that started out. That started out as a bare bones shell with nothing. And it's been restored completely to where it's at now. That is so beautiful. And he did it for his child too. That was freaking beautiful what he did. Man. I love how they have the little rats right there. It's awesome. Datsun. That's 720. Yeah. And this is the alley I'm talking about right here. For how they're gonna just do a truck alley next year. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go down that way. Oh, yeah, that's always beautiful. And then you have that the Nissan truck, which was like an 820, but they called it something else. I forgot what it's called. Oh. I like how that's a Chevy Love with a Isuzu motor. Believe it or not, Chevy did have like a few cars with the different motor inside. Like from Isuzu was one of them. Kind of like they were trying to do like their version of Diamond Star Motors. Dude, they're just so beautiful cars out here. And you got this, I think that's a 620. I like it in many ways because it has like the cool looking front end. Really cool. I got that. Then you got the Toyota Land Cruiser, like one of the older ones. Yeah, I like how they came out with like the trailers looking like part of their car. That's freaking awesome. And I believe I start walking back this way and start covering more of the cars, like this one here, the Bluebird. And then you have that RV right there, the GTR R34, a beautiful car. And you have this. Oh yeah, I was trying to cover. Did I? Yeah, the Bluebird. Okay. Definitely a beautiful car. I like how it's done. Well, then you have this one, the blue one, Skyline. Skyline GTR. It's Godzilla. The green calipers. And then you have this nicely restored. Cool looking rims. And then you have this GTS Toyota. This is a Toyota Corolla GTS, which was an FX6. That's where it is. Front wheel drive. Very cool looking. You don't really see them often anymore. Another GTR. GTRs were plentiful here. It's cool to see. This is another one of those GTR wagons. The first time I've ever seen those wagons is here. It's amazing. And that FTO was the first time seeing one in there too. 2000 Stadia. RB26. Oof. Love that. Love how tiny that battery was too. Alright, I should start walking on the other side so I can pick up those Cressidas. Last time I seen the Cressidas was back in 2010. Seen Cressidas like that. They were just completely... It was... I don't think I've seen a Cressida like this in a long time. With the original motors too. 7MGEs. The thing about those motors is you have to retorque the freaking head bolts or it's gonna break. Vintage motorcycle, Japanese. Very cool. Got the little Honda here. And then you have this vintage one right here. That's really cool. You know, the last time I seen something like this was in the Philippines. But that's really cool. I love seeing this and all this cool random stuff. And it got so busy because everyone was driving through, taking out their phones, recording everything. It's for sale, the 1970, huh? And then another Roadster. It's really cool. Roadsters are really cool. I love seeing those. I actually love seeing one with like an SR20 I've seen before. HPDE. Okay, got it. Okay, so HPDE is it's a NASA program where drivers learn high performance driving. Okay. High performance driver education. That's what it is. HPDE. This car is definitely set up for racing. That cowl hood and everything. That's awesome. Ztrix.com. I think that was the only 510 way. I mean, not 520. Datsun 510 was like behind me. Dude, I love random builds. It's a very cool SCCA. This is that SCCA motor car. That is not. That's a Sentra. 82 Sentra. Okay, totally wrong. And then another Z with really clean engine bay. And then you have a Del Sol. Honda Del Sol, clean. It's got Mugen. Mugen. Yo. It's right hand, not right hand drive, but Honda Del Sol. It's got soul. And you have this like presidential looking car. Old school, very cool. It's short, but yet it's tall. And the MR2. MR2s are really cool. I always like them. And then you have this Q45 Infinity. You really don't see these around much often, especially how clean it is too. And then you have this one, which was a datsun something. I think it's like a 310 or something. Then you got the Toyota Crown. That's cool. Toyota Crown. Is that a Touge Z swap? And then you have this really clean S13. Right-hand drive. Right? Yeah. It's an actual Sylvia. Authentic Sylvia. Then you have this GTIR, which I found out that never came with the umbrella because it was missing. I guess it was like the first thing they checked. And, you know, that would be the first thing I would check. Does this car still have the umbrella? Because on the side of the car, on the Pulsar GTIRs, they have an umbrella. And inside the door, which is really cool. And it comes stock that way. I think the Pulsar GTIRs are either both front-wheel drives or front-wheel all-wheel drives. Tired. Alright, so that must be the 510 wagon. I think these are the 510 wagons. Can never fully tell. Skyline R33. See, I should have printed something out. I said I was going to print something out last week, and I didn't do it. I should have. But that's okay. And Integra. No, we got some exotic swaps in this. Another GTR wagon. Yep, that's that one I seen earlier. Did I get to the Celica? I think I did. No, I didn't, did I? Look at that. That Celica's badass. Yeah, I think this was one of the last ones I reviewed. Look how badass that is. Then I try to look at the rest. But that's pretty much it. Just like that. Alright. So back on that. So that's technically the drive to the event. In the event, pretty much has been done. You want to go to there, you just gotta go to TougeSW.com, you go to the gallery, and actually go through all the pictures. Leaving the event. That morning, Sunday morning, I got up like 7 o'clock. Again, my car was frozen. It was amazing. When you're living in Vegas and you deal with nothing but hot air all the time, and you wake up to this, you're just amazed. But yeah, there's the Williams sign backwards. Welcome to Williams. It's basically on one of the motels on the outside right here. Really cool. And I didn't get home until like 11 o'clock. And I made it back. I was to there and back again. 400 miles altogether. So the car review, I'm gonna have to say, is definitely needs work on the suspension. I need to figure out what's wrong with my injectors, and I have a feeling I do have some leaky injectors going on. Causing some weird thing. I've noticed that my oil was missing a quart low. Other than the front suspension, the car did great. I started her up today. It's running really great still. So knock on wood, because it's a CA20. CA20s are known to shit the bed after they've been rebuilt for the first time, but I found a few hacks that I put together. I think it's going to be stronger than it ever has been. So, but here comes the thing. Events like this are kind of inspired and were wanting to find a VG30 or a VG33, forward over to 30 to a VG34, and make it the whole. That's a V6 motor with Q45 pistons, which are flat top. Kind of gives it a really high compression, but carburate it with my whole carburetor setup and put it in this car. Put it in this car, and if you don't know what that is, here. I did this like 9 years ago. That's the carb setup on the VG30. I was drifting this car, so. But I think this might have been a better wow moments for the show, to be honest. There's number 2, more at night. So yeah. I don't think I can ever find those cam gears again. But yeah. I don't know. If the CA20 does fail me, I might seek this out and make it happen. But until then, I think the CA20 will be just fine. So on that count, let's go. So that's my car review. I do have a few things I gotta work on. The event review. Very friendly. I showed up. Everyone was very informative, very nice. Even everybody in town was very nice. I've had no problems there. I had 0 issues with anybody. Very friendly. I'm just kind of sad that I had no one else to really share the moments with, you know. But I went up there because I wanted to do this for not just myself, but for Touge SW's first actual event going out and doing a thing. And I'm looking forward to doing it again next year. Maybe with some new upgrades, maybe some new cool things happening. Maybe I can dress up the motor better and clean it up some. Maybe I can get the hood repainted. And maybe I can get some more of the paint retouched up and all the clear coat that's fading away to get put back on and all the cool stuff. But I'm hoping to also inspire other S12 users out there to come out with me next year. So I think something like this can really happen, you know. And it just takes one person sometimes, one person to bring a bunch together. And you just have to do something. And this is something I've done. And because I did something here, I could say I've done it. I would love to see you guys come with me next year. Let's do this. Let's motivate. Let's be motivated. And the longer my car is running the way it is, or running better, I'm pretty sure I'm going to motivate more people to wanting to keep their stuff up and running too. So I just love motivating people. It's amazing, and I hope I can continue on with the next event next year. I know they're already pre-planning stuff already, but let's get a little closer and let's see what happens. So there's my events. So here's my current project list. I call the Project Zombie 1987 200 SX S12 Sylvia with the CA18 DET, It's the one you see in the background. It used to have the VG30, but now it has a CA18D8T. It's almost ready. The only thing I've done, I bought a fuel gauge, I hooked it up, and it works. So this weekend I will be drilling that into my new little dash. I'm just going to go analog for now, just to get it up and running. And once I figure out how to do the digital stuff, that's when I'll take care of it. My other project is the daily, the one I drove out there, the 1986 200SX S12 Sylvia, C20E. You know, that whole trip actually really gave me confidence on my working ability, how I like to be thorough with my stuff. And I think if I wasn't as thorough as I was, and the last minute things, always double checking everything that I've done. You know, I had issues with the fuel pump that I had to redo over again just to make sure I get it right. And stuff like that is what keeps me from not calling for a tow and keeping me driving all the way there and back. I think it's because of all that I've done to the car itself is why it was a success to get there and back again. And I'm hoping that I can do the same thing with the Fairlady 1980 Fairlady Z, my S130. The new motor that I got for it as well. I'm hoping that I can build something out of that as well. Yeah, this is my project list. And of course, next. So what's next? Well, back to Project Zombie. I'm focusing on that now. We're gonna get it up and running. We're gonna get it ready to start driving more. And if everything goes as well, I'm gonna drive that more often again, like the old days, just to make sure it works good. And hopefully, I think by December or late November, Import Face-Off comes out. It's in December. And that's when I'm going to have this car there. And this is going to be drifting at, hopefully, at Import Face-Off, because it should be as ready to go. So, what's next is finishing up my dashboard, all my dash clusters, and try to get it moving. That's my plan this weekend. And that's it. Any Q&A out there? If there's anybody hanging out in chat, wants to ask questions about the car, ask questions about the trip, this would be a good time. Other than that, you can ask me anytime. You can even ask me on after the video's been posted. If anybody ever wants to come on the show in the future time, you know, for like a one-on-one, we'll do like a one-on-one little podcast kind of thing where we ask each other questions and stuff like that. Feel free to reach out to me about that. So, in closing, that is pretty much it. I'm going to have to say good night. I'll be back tomorrow. I do this every Thursday night. So, podcast every Thursday night. But I play video games every night after 7 p.m. PST. So, I'll be back tomorrow night. Maybe a different game. I'm not sure. Anyways, have a good one. Thanks for hanging out, and have a good one.